Now, let's get more reaction to Tiger's public apology. Jim Gorant, if you hadn't had enough already at home and on the trading floors, Jim Gorant is a senior editor at Sports Illustrated who follows the PGA Tour. Jim, welcome to the show. Thanks for joining us. Let me get first just your basic reaction. I'm sure everybody in the world and his brother has expressed his reaction to Tiger's apology today. What did you think?
All right, nothing earth-shattering here. We think it was a good first step. Had to do it. He covered a lot of ground. He covered a lot of things he had to. There was some stuff in there that he probably didn't need, but in terms of getting the process started, I thought it was a reasonable first attempt.
Did you want more? I mean, everybody was, very critical, saying, he should have been open for questions, Q&A.
Right.
Did you want more?
Well, I think everybody wants more, and I think this doesn't erase that. I mean, that will come at some point. He says he's going to play golf again, and so he'll have to face the media and he'll have to answer questions. I think it depends on how you looked at this. I looked at it as more of a speech or an announcement, not as a press conference. That's why I thought it was good that some of the Golf Writers Association pulled out. They didn't want to give it the appearance of being a press conference when it wasn't, in fact. It was more him just making an announcement. And so if you look at it in that context, then I think it was okay. If everyone's trying to pass it off as a press conference, it wasn't that. And that will come. He can't avoid those questions.
Do you think he gave it all that he had? I mean, as far as the important questions to you, I'm sure, are, is this guy going to come back and play golf? And then when is he going to come back and play golf? Do you think he told you and told us everything that he knows?
No, we know he didn't.
Well, yeah.
I mean,
maybe he doesn't know when he's going to come back and play golf.
He doesn't know when he's going to play golf. And there's a lot of things that feed into that, and we don't know either. I mean, that's one of the great parlor games is sort of guessing, but nobody really knows. I don't think he does either.
What about in terms of his public image and kind of getting back in favor with fans, and also probably more importantly with sponsors? I mean, I had some folks a couple months ago saying, you know what, a year from now, we're not going to care because we want to see him play.
There's a lot of that. When you look at comments on our website and things of that nature, there's sort of two groups: people who they don't care, they love him, they're a fan. They think everyone should just drop the whole subject and go back to appreciating him as a golfer. And then there's the other side who's just really hurt and mad at him. And I think that's the side that sort of wants an apology, and some of them are satisfied today and some of them are not.
He said sorry 3 times.
Yeah, numerous times. And it was interesting, too, because there were parts of the sort of speech that seemed very sincere and parts of it that seemed very scripted. But I think the parts where he was apologizing and he was sort of accepting the blame and this is my fault and I did it, those parts struck me as more sincere. Right. Some of the other parts were, a little too red. It was a sort of brochure copy about his foundation in there. And
that was a little odd, wasn't it? It did feel kind of odd.
It was a little bit.
Does it make a difference in the long run? I mean, you follow the PGA. There are a lot of golfers out there who have their drinking and gambling and partying issues that no one seems to care that much about.
Right. Well, there's not that much of that. I think the success of professional golf over the last 10 years or maybe more has been the fact that, when you're a corporate sponsor and you buy golf, you're pretty sure you're not going to get those kind of problems, and golf has sort of made its living off that. You're not going to end up on the back page of the tabloids when you're a golf sponsor. And this definitely puts a little bit of a dent in that image, but I think it's maybe a short-term dent and not a huge one.
Jim, and correct me if I'm wrong, but I thought someone had told me earlier that you're in charge of Sports Illustrated's PGA Tour supplement. Is that right?
Yeah, I work on that.
So let me ask you, do you think it's going to be tarnished or it's going to be difficult to kind of sell, if you will, because of what's going on with Tiger? Or is it crucial that he kind of comes back in the game?
Better?
Or does it sell better?
Well, I mean, it would be naive to say that the whole game doesn't sort of go up and down with him to a certain degree.
Ratings definitely go up 50% when he's in a tournament.
Ratings do, but at the same time, not to be an apologist for golf everywhere, but at the same time, golf has never been about numbers. If you look at the numbers of ratings of sports events, golf's never had great numbers other than a few events. But it's about who watches golf, and that's very attractive to advertisers. And that doesn't necessarily change. When you reach that wider audience, when he's playing, obviously that's a benefit.
Right.
But the fact that you have a very highly desirable audience watching golf, that doesn't change. So in that sense, there's damage, definitely, but it's still somewhat contained. And golf lasted for a long time before Tiger, and I think it will afterwards.
There's so many questions I have,
I know,
but I'll wait.
But we'll have to have you come back, because I'm sure we'll talk about this again when he makes his next appearance. All right, Jim, great to have you with us. Thank you.
Thank you.
Jim Gorant over at Sports Illustrated.